Hey guys, Toast again from Fishyaker. Right here behind me is my beloved new canoe Frontier 12, and this is my latest kayak rigging project. So guys, if you're like me, when you get a new truck, one of the first things you do to protect it is you get a bed lined. Well, that gave me an epiphany. If you follow along with the Fishyaker YouTube channel much, you see all the videos I put out trying to protect the hull of a kayak, not just with your commercially available keel guards, but I tried some other things. Gorilla tape, you name it, all sorts of stuff. Well, I wanted to see if a DIY bed liner might work. Again, this is my 2020 new canoe Frontier 12. This is my basically my float boat and my tournament boat. I love this thing. As you see, the faded black and white pattern also aided me in my thought process here. I thought if I could use a black bed liner on it, I could blend it in. And it did. Now keep in mind, the bed liner that I actually use is this really inexpensive stuff from Walmart. It's about $7 a can. It's DIY, goes on like a spray paint. This took me 2 cans to pull off the center keel area, and then again I kind of faded it down here on the sides. But my important part I wanted to do was mostly the bow on the keel here, and over here on the stern, based on the skid area. And then again, the rest of the boat hull wasn't as big of a deal to me because that's not where most of my scraping is, especially when I'm floating on rocky rivers and stuff. But again, the important part is to choose the type of bed liner you're using, because some of the bed liners you use, actually like what I got professionally installed on the fish wagon, is kind of a softer, more rubbery type of material, whereas what I wanted was something hard, a lot more scratch resistant, and something that wasn't going to just like stick if I ran up on a rock or on a log or something like that. And the Krylon stuff here actually worked really well. The other cool thing about this hull is that it has a textured finish on it. Looking over here at the flint, it's got a little bit slicker hull finish on it. So the thing is, just like if you're putting this stuff onto the bed of a truck, you want to have a rough, somewhat textured finish to get it to stick to it. This was great. So it already had some textured finish to it, plus I'd already used it, so it had a little bit more texturing to it. As you can see under there, I didn't put a ton on here to cover that up all the way, but those scrapes and scratches in it gave it a little bit more to bite onto. But then I took some heavy grit sandpaper too, and that just gave it more of a, more friction to bite into when I sprayed it. So what you want to do is test it on a piece of plastic similar to the hull. Again, a lot of manufacturers like NuCanoe, they'll give you pieces of the hull from when they've installed rod holders, stuff like that. And you can actually test it out if you don't have this one here to see if it sticks. But again, you want to rough up that hull, even if it does have a little bit of a textured finish. You can hear it there. Again, it's a little bit of a matte finish on it to begin with, but I roughed it up a little bit up here in the center. But again, if you get a really slick hull, again, more glossy hull, be sure to rough it up or that stuff's not going to stick to it, it's going to peel off. This stuff isn't peeling off. So I put a couple of really good heavy coats on it, faded it on down a little bit to blend it in. Again, if the boat's upside down, you're not really going to notice it much. And this, again, is a harder material than some of the really soft, rubbery ones. So it's going to deflect and slide off of stuff a whole lot better. If I do get a little scratches or something like that in it, I can always spray over it and put another layer in it. Another key thing to keep in mind, make sure that stuff dries and cures, because if it doesn't, it's going to be softer. The longer it's drying and curing, the harder it's going to get. And if it's not hard, it's just going to skid and scrape and rip off and be a waste of money. Like I said, if you're going to try this, just get a piece of heavy grit sandpaper, pick up a couple cans, Well, like I said, like $7 a piece at local Walmart. I may want to test it out. What I did, I actually tested it out on the stern first. I figure if it didn't work here, I wouldn't go any further with it. And it worked great. But again, I'm still going to let it sit up and cure for a couple of weeks. So this stuff really does work. A lot of people say they don't want to try it out only because it adds weight to the boat. But you figure it's only going to add the weight of a couple cans of spray paint. And just the contents, not even the can. So if you've already got a large kayak like this, like a big sit-on-top modern kayak, what's an extra pound or so? Not a whole lot, but this is really an easy one here. A lot cheaper than buying like a couple $100 keel guard kit. And you can do it however you want to do it yourself. So check it out. I'll do some updates on it too. If this thing totally fails on me, I'll let you guys know. I don't have that expectation right now, only because again I prepped the hull before I did it, and this stuff's on there pretty darn good. It's not scratching off, and I like it. Again, on the color pattern here, it looks good. All right, guys, if you haven't yet, be sure to give us that thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the Fishyaker YouTube channel. Give us your comments down below. Share the video and let all your friends know about it. And we'll catch you on the water.